Hey everybody, it's Ethan and Brandon, and as always, we're back to talk about you know what, baseball. And we're here to talk about somebody very interesting, somebody who is very near and dear to my heart, Corbin Burns. He was on the Orioles this past 2024 season. But Brandon, you have some thoughts about him. I have some thoughts about him. I'd like you to take it away first.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Corbin Burns has been a very good pitcher for a very long time. He won the Cy Young for the Brewers back in 2021. He hasn't been as good in recent years, but again, like the standard that he set for himself was so ridiculously high that even like this, not bad year, but like for him, below standard year was still great. He has, he had a ERA below 3 in 194 innings. He started the All-Star game for the American League. Like it's just this is a guy that he's durable, he's healthy, he gives you innings and he gives you quality innings. And like we talked about with Max Fried last time around, this is a guy that you can trust to be the head of your pitching rotation.
I mean, look, Corbin Burns is somewhat of a young guy. He's been with the MLB since 2018. That's 6 years. I mean, he's gotten his punches in here and there. And in 2024, I'd like to believe personally, not only as an Orioles fan, but also as a fan of baseball in general, as a righty pitcher, he really kind of, improved. I'd like to believe. And now as a free agent, it kind of stands the question of, is he going to stay with the Orioles? What direction does the wind take him from here? You know, I would love to see him stay with the Orioles, but I think there are a few teams that could use him a lot more. You know, I think that, you throw a ball, you hit a righty pitcher. They're a dime a dozen. But I think somebody like Corbin Burns, he just kind of he's just he can produce strikeouts more, I think, than many. And I'd like to see him on a few teams. But Brandon, let me get your views on this. What teams do you think he should go to? Or what teams do you think would benefit from Corbin Burns?
So obviously, the teams that are going to be in on Corbin Burns are going to be the big market teams, the teams that can afford $200 million pitchers. And arguably, there is no team that is better equipped right now to sign an ace free agent pitcher than the Boston Red Sox. We spoke about it last week with Max Fried, who obviously is a lefty, so that's a little bit better for the current iteration of the Red Sox. But Corbin Burns is a great fit. We talked about, he's had up and downs. Again, he was great in 2021. He's been really consistently good. His stats are declining a little bit since then, but still, obviously he's a great pitcher. Again, the Red Sox rotation right now is Tanner Houck, Brian Bayo, maybe Lucas Giolito if he's healthy next season, Cutter Crawford. It's just like again, those are all quality pitchers. Tanner Houck, really had a strong season in 2024, but none of those guys are like this is the ace. This isn't the, if the Red Sox make the World Series in game one, are you confident throwing Tanner Houck out there? Maybe. I don't know. Corbin Burns, you're like, yeah, like that's the guy I want going up against the other aces and around the baseball.
I think, it's kind of like what we discussed last week with Max Fried. You kind of like you're saying, you want like an MVP out there. And although that Corbin Burns is an MVP level, look, he's still a Cy Young winner at the end of the day. And I'd rather put, if I were going on DraftKings or even just putting my money down at the end of the day, I'd rather somebody who has more experience, who judges say, this is a guy who's an award winner versus, well, these other guys, yeah, they're good and their stats are good, but they still could use more work. And I think, again, I think Corbin Burns is a little bit more of a workhorse than some of these other younger guys on the Red Sox. Corbin Burns can go maybe even to the seventh inning before you pull him out and you put a closer in there. Um, you see it, we've seen it with the Orioles this past season. He can go inning five, six, it's pushing it with the seventh inning, but I don't think he's going to even like get injured within that seventh inning. He can really keep going. He's got the power to kind of finish the inning out and still go strong. And you kind of need that on the Red Sox right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, this is a guy who's made 30 plus starts in 3 straight years, 190 plus innings in 3 straight years. He's like you said, he's a workhorse. He's durable. And in a division in the AL East where the Yankees have Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon, the Blue Jays have Kevin Gausman and Jose Barrios, the Rays have infinite young pitching. You know, getting a guy like Corbin Burns to match up with those guys and taking him from the Baltimore Orioles, a division rival who obviously have been better than the Red Sox the last couple of years. That's, I mean, that's a good deal. Again, the money, for again, Craig Breslow, who used to run the pitching department for the Chicago Cubs, comes from the Jed Hoyer school of things. He doesn't believe in, paying these older pitchers a lot of money. But again, the Red Sox are in a position right now where they have the payroll space, they have the need for an ace pitcher. And it's just hard to imagine a guy, who fits the profile better than Burns.
And I think you can kind of end with this too. And Brandon, stop me with I'm wrong if I'm wrong here, but you could take Max Fried, you could take Corbin Burns, and really any veteran player, for example. And it's not just with pitchers, it's with batters, whatever. Take a veteran player and put him on a team. When it comes to like training sessions or whatever, I'd like to have a veteran player in there with these new pitchers, these younger guys, and really kind of put them through the ringer. And, the season's over at this point. So, it's time for training day at this point. So if we put Corbin Burns on the Red Sox, I'm pretty sure we're going to get, these younger guys, they're going to get a good training day out of it. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, I mean, I think having a guy who's won a Cy Young award, who's been in the playoffs a lot in his career, it's a valuable thing. A guy who's got that experience, a guy who knows how to put his body through the rigors of a full MLB season.